Today we're going to talk about bar graphs. Bar graphs are similar to the picture graphs we've been talking about because they show a picture of the data that we've collected. They still have a title. They still have labels to tell you what each bar stands for. And they also have numbers over on the side so that I can go to the top of the bar and go across and see how many people are represented. So this means that out of the people asked, 10 people like blue as their favorite color. Let's look at some more examples. Here we have animals on the farm. Now in this, we still have a frequency table that tells us the labels that we have, our tally marks for how many each animal we have, and then we also have the numbers of the animals written in standard form. So when I look over here, I've got a title, I've got my labels, but I also have numbers on the side that tell me how many horses, for example, we have. So if I go up to the top of the bar and I go across, there are 8 horses on this farm. In my pig column, if I go to the top of the bar and I go across, I have 5 pigs on the farm. For sheep, I go to the top of the bar, I go across, and I have 7 sheep. Like we talked with the picture graphs, it's always a good idea, once you have figured out how many horses there are, to write that number at the top of your bar. To do the same thing for pigs, I would write 5 here. And for sheep, I would write 7 so that I don't have to keep going across to look at the number. I can just look at the top of the bar. Let's look at another example. The title of this graph is Eye Color in our class. And we have our labels down here. Colors. And again, we have our numbers off to the side that tell us how many. So when I look over here at my frequency table, I can see how many tallies we have, and I can see how many total students like the color blue. Remember when we talked about tally marks earlier, we said that if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and a diagonal, it means that that stands for 5. So this symbol down here stands for 5. So it makes it a little easier to count when I want to count by 5s, which you'll be practicing later on. 5, 10. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 20 people who have green eyes. And then my last one is brown. Count with me, please. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 people have the eye color brown. Now, when I use a bar graph, remember I go to the top of the bar, I go across and see what number is there. This tells me that 10 people have blue eyes. On my green column or bar, I go up to the top, and over on the side I go to 20, and then what I would like to do is write 20 up here so I don't have to keep looking back over to the side. I just know what that number is because I've written it down. And the last bar, I go up to the top and I go over to see that 30 people have brown eye color. Remember we talked about with picture graphs that sometimes the columns go up and down, and sometimes you read a graph going left to right or side to side. So the same thing is true about bar graphs. We did a bar graph here for shoes people wear. We have lace shoes, we have closed-toed shoes, and we have sandals. So I'm still going to look at my labels, and I'm going to go across all the way to the end of my bar and see that 5 people wear laced shoes. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go across to the end of my bar and see that 3 people wear closed-toed shoes. For my sandals, I'm going to go all the way to the end of my bar and see that 4 people wear sandals. Remember that in your frequency table, with those tally marks, This is the symbol for 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a diagonal line makes 5. Today, you are going to work with your teachers to create a frequency table and figure out how many boys and girls are in your class. Have fun!